Race number 6 on Saturday out at Keeneland Racecourse. 7 furlongs, quirky distance. Let's start with Captain Cook, the 5. Irad Ortiz set to ride for Todd Pletcher.
First start in the Pletcher barn came here in the Jerkins Memorial Grade 1 at Saratoga. And the effort this horse had was finally seemed to be building off the promise he'd shown way early in his 2-year-old campaign. He broke his maiden last December, then won the Withers stylishly in February, and then kind of fell off a little bit, struggled against tougher horses. Here against Patch Adams, almost beats Patch Adams at 20-1. Patch Adams would have been one of the top choices for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Unfortunately, had a slight injury during training and has been retired. But Captain Cook, big effort, first time in the Pletcher barn, goes back out again. And our old colleague Gabby Gaudette, her husband Norm Cassie had originally trained Captain Cook, and when the horse was sold in the dispersal sale last Keeneland November, they were really sad to lose him because they had such high hopes for Captain Cook, and his talent finally seems to be coming around.
In terms of big contenders, going against Captain Cook, Barnes, the 3 for Bob Baffert. This 3-year-old Colt Magic, tough to really know what you're going to get because the hype and the buzz was massive at the back end of last year, but have we really seen that version?
No, flat out no, we haven't. And this horse was a $3.2 million purchase out of the Fade-Ticton sale last August, was a yearling, and just hasn't quite lived up to the hype. Broke the maiden on debut, it was tough, but got the win at Churchill, and then won the San Vicente going 7 furlongs, but the San Felipe got dusted by journalism. Santa Anita Derby, even more dusted by journalism. Was an okay, well, I should say okay, was a decent third in the Jerkins, but out of that, blew the break in the Gallant Bob at Parks, and just horrible. I mean, nothing good about what happened for Barnes in the Gallant Bob. There's 2 Bafferts in here. We haven't talked about the one Gaming, who was a Grade 1 winner when the Del Mar Futurity as a 2-year-old, won the Affirm Stakes at Santa Anita back on June 8th, but Bob Baffert, in the last 5 years, shipping horses to Keeneland for any level of graded stakes action, he's 2 for 15. With that to say, he doesn't target Keeneland races like some of the other trainers will. You'll have a Dale Romans, for example, who has Taylor's version in here. Off of that win at Churchill on September 18th, going 6 furlongs, 97 buyer, they absolutely were like, yes, okay, the next step for this horse was going to be the Perryville. Now we're going to go to the Perryville. Owen Almighty, based in Kentucky. Had up and down season so far in 2025, but they probably were targeting this race. Pletcher was targeting this race. Fausto Gutierrez trains the 6, targeting this race. Bob Baffert doesn't target Keeneland races. That's not his bread and butter. So just 2 for 15 doing it, and I'm going to take shots against both Bafferts here.
One of the runners coming up for the big race will be Owen Almighty, starting from the 4-hole. Comes in for Brian Lynch. Really didn't have it last out, but this was impressive, taking out the Tampa Bay Derby a little earlier this year, and at this point we thought, hey, it could be going on to be a big contender in the Kentucky Derby.
Unfortunately, a horse that, being a son of Speightstown, there were question marks about how far he'd want to go. He was a very poor 6th in the Bluegrass, and yet the connection still, because he qualified, wanted to go to the Kentucky Derby. Now, I will give him credit for finishing 5th in that race because he was part of that early pace that was super contentious early on. Everybody else fell off. You had Sovereignty, Journalism, Baeza all coming from near the back of the pack to get the trifecta. Finishing 5th wasn't bad. The Hilton Memorial at Charlestown, Charlestown's a bull ring track. 7 furlongs is 2 turns there. Tight corners. He didn't get out to the early lead, which is his best running style. So scratch that off. I think he can bounce back here in a decent way, back to a spot where he's going to be better going 1 turn. And you got Luis Saez aboard for the first time. He is very good, especially with the Brian Lynch runners.
We will have the team out there on Saturday to take you through all of the lead-up into this year's running of the Perryville. We'll also have the Raven Run Stakes on Saturday afternoon. And then on Sunday, things really do not slow down with the starting 7 getting us primed up for all of that great action and racing. We are back out at Keeneland on Wednesday afternoon. Good looking program in the mix as well.